Hello, everyone. Welcome to our final theme of mental performance hockey staying month of June. We are going to be talking about visualization and visualizing greatness. Kind of a hard word to say, and I have to say it a lot, so bear with me. All right, really quick review. I'm not going to really go through all these, but I want to make sure I put them up here so you guys remember the stuff that we've worked on so far this year. If you want to pause the video and take a look at these really quickly and just kind of review the mental skills that we've been working on this year and the different ways you can do these in the month of June, and especially going into national, I think that would be super helpful. And so if you wanted to pause the video and maybe write down one or two that you want to focus on in June, just to kind of review, or all of them, feel free to go ahead and do that now. All right, let's talk about visualization. So what is visualization? Basically, it's using our imaginations. Simple enough. I am going to talk about it in the way of using our imaginations to see ourselves succeeding. You could also do so to see yourself not succeeding. I will never recommend that ever. So we are just going to see ourselves doing well when we use our imaginations. And that is pretty much it. The really cool thing about visualization is that when we do it and we do it the right way, it can give us the same feeling as actually having the experience. So if you visualize yourself getting a big kill and your teammates jumping on you and you feel really good, you can feel the exact same way as if you were doing that in real life, which is really awesome. We're going to talk about how to do that. When we did our mental highlight reels a couple months ago, it's also a little bit of visualization. Uh, we are using video to do so, and kind of our past and our actual selves. The thing that we're going to say is going to be more so future and using our imaginations to kind of put ourselves in the future and see ourselves succeeding. And so the mental highlight reel is still important. I still want you to watch the highlight reels that you've made and like yourself succeeding in any matches this year so far. This is a different way to do it without the video. First, to kind of prep our minds for this, we're going to reflect on the season. So I want you to think back to November or October, whenever your tryouts were, whenever you're just coming into this thing season. And I want you to 3 areas that you feel that you improved on the most. And so I don't want these to be really general, like don't just put hitting, passing, serving, but what about hitting did you get better at? What about passing? What about serving or setting? Whatever it is. So if that is like, like I have the example, don't just put hitting, but maybe hitting the line or hitting better shots. The more we're reflecting back on this, it's kind of prepping our heads to seeing ourselves succeed. So I want you to pause and write down those 3 areas right now. When you resume the video, I want you to write down 3 times that you felt like you were your absolute best self this year. And if it's been a long season, you played a lot of games, a lot of matches, take some time to write down like 3 really specific times where you felt like you were your best, most confident self. It could be all from your most recent tournament. It could be all from the beginning of the season. Doesn't matter. But I want you to, again, be really specific about that. So who were you playing against? What made it the best? How did you feel during that? 3 times where you felt like you were your absolute best self. Pause the video, go ahead and do that. All right, so our reflection, like I said, is just kind of prepping us to do this visualization work. It's easier to see ourselves succeed in the future when we've kind of reflected on like the times we've actually done it in the past. So that's like our highlight reels, but also just kind of the reflection of the season. Now we're going to do some visualization about nationals. Obviously, we know June and July are nationals month. Now we're just in training mode to get there. So let's talk about how we can see ourselves at nationals. You're not going to pause the video yet, but I do want you to close your eyes and just kind of listen as I and kind of prep you for the visualization. So if you're with your team or by yourself watching this, close your eyes and I want you to imagine your team at nationals, wherever that is for your team this year, Minnesota or Chicago. I want you to close your eyes and imagine that you're there. Put yourself in the last day of nationals. So this could be you know, you're walking in the gym at 7 or 7:30 or whatever, your team is playing in the first match because you've made it to the gold bracket. I know I put Elite 8, gold bracket, whatever that looks like for your division. So take some time and really put yourself in that spot where, you know, if you've been in that convention center before, imagine what court you might, if you're walking with someone, if you're listening to music, if you're talking to a teammate, whatever it is, put yourself in that spot of how that feels to be walking the last day of nationals. This could bring some excitement. This could bring some nerves. Either way, really kind of be specific about what you're seeing in your head, and just continue to listen as I instruct about what this is going to look like. So you're in the gym. Think about what the gym looks like. Is it loud? Is there, you know, popcorn smell? Is it pretty crowded? Do you have an idea who you might be playing? You can just make this up in your head too. So let's say it's Kiva and you're about to play Kiva at 8 a.m. Even think about like the jersey your team would be wearing and put yourself there. You're kind of starting to take your spot in warm-ups. You're looking over the other side, you see who it is, you know what you're wearing. Put yourself really in that moment about the specific details of what the gym looks like. Now warm-ups are done and it's time to play. It's time to win a championship. So I want you to imagine yourself on the court performing to the best of your ability. What does this look like? How are you helping your team win? In this part, I want you to pause the video and take, you know, 3 to 5 minutes to visualize multiple plays in these matches on the day of nationals. If you could play your absolute best, your most confident self, what does that look like for you? You guys are all young, you have big imaginations. Take a couple minutes to see what this looks like for you and how it feels. After a few minutes, feel free to resume the video. All right, so that should feel pretty cool to do. If you do it really specifically, you know, you're not distracted, it can feel pretty awesome to imagine yourself doing well and winning a national championship. I would not want us to do this more in, you know, January because it feels so far away, but now we're so close and we're prepping for it. And I think using our visualization is going to help us be our best selves when we get to nationals. And so how else can we use this? You could always use your imagination, like when you're driving to practice in the next few weeks. Like imagine yourself doing really well in practice too. Get ourselves in the right mindset for nationals that way. Imagine yourself just performing to the best of your ability at practice too. You also could do this when you start going to camps in June, college camps or the college elite camp at Sting. Imagine yourself as confident and successful in that camp. So if you're going into the camp a little nervous, take some time, close your eyes, do your visualization really detailed about why you are going to play as your best self. And finally, of course, as we prep for nationals, like the car right there, heading to the gym, sitting in the hotel, remember the visualization you did in this video or rewatch this video and replay that in your head of what it looks like to be your best self at nationals. That doesn't, it's not equaling, like we can't just do this and then, you know, we still have to show up and perform. But I'm more about wanting to make you guys feel confident and really only seeing ourselves succeed at nationals. We're going in with a really good, confident mindset. The other thing you could do that I want you to do is reread your notes from the first activity we did today with the areas of improvement and your best self stuff. I think that's super important. Keep those notes and reread them. That's also really good visualization techniques. My final note on this, if you are going into this month and you're starting to feel worried or nervous going into camps or nationals or even practice, make sure you're only imagining you succeeding and not failing. Imagining fail is going to have the same effect on you as imagining success. And that if I'm seeing myself fail, I'm starting to get anxious and nervous. Maybe my heart's racing. Maybe I'm getting a little sweaty. It's not going to help me. It's not going to help me perform well. It's not going to help you guys perform well. So really challenge yourself to only imagine the successes. And finally, good luck. I've had so much fun doing these videos this year with you guys. I've had so much fun coaching this year. I'm so excited to see how our teams do at nationals. I have a lot of confidence in us performing really well. I think if we are preparing well, if we're doing the right things, Sting is gonna come home with some trophies, some hardware. So really good stuff, you guys. As always, Jim, if you have any questions, and go Sting.